Hell yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's turn that one off. Perfect. All righty. I think we're all set up here. Feel free to pick up the mic and talk into it if that makes it easier. We're combating a lot of sound. So take your time with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
We got a big cluster here.
Uh-oh. What happened here? Welcome back to the Roadkill Drums podcast.
Are we having fun?
I'm gonna bang a drum. Oh shit, I died. I'm in hell.
We're on. Welcome back to the Roadkill Drums podcast. My name is Laurel. We've got Roadkill down there on the other end today. We are joined by Jason Baker.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm a music audiologist in Nashville, and so I'm at the drum show today. I'm not a drummer, but I am trying to protect everyone's ears and just educate people about ear protection. So we got foam earplugs, which block out too much. Drummers hate these. We got filtered earplugs.
There you go.
Pretty good. They block out some of the sound.
Yeah.
And then we got some options for the kids. So any parent that comes through that has a kid with them, we should be protecting their ears.
Well, it's important to understand the importance of taking care of your ears. I mean, you see some of these older musicians that are here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I get that all the time.
Yeah. Right. I joke around with my oldest son. It's not because he has any hearing issues that we know of. It's just that he's
not
8 years old.
listening.
He's 8 years old and not listening. Yeah. So I'll joke around. And my youngest son will come to me and goes, "Dad, I'm hungry." And I'll say, "Well, hi, hungry. I'm Dad. This is huh." And my son goes, "Huh?"
Yeah. That might be a little bit over his head.
A little bit. Yeah. But it's true when you get here. A lot of people answer to "huh" a lot. And it's because you spend some time. You can hear it over the microphones right now. There is loud noise everywhere.
I agree.
And when your business is sound as a musician or as a producer or as an audiologist, it's important to take care of your ears. And there's so many different ways you can do that besides just, your mom yelling at you to turn the volume down.
Yeah, that happens a lot too.
That happens a lot too.
What's cool about this, now we have an actual expert that can tell us about this and how they work and what it does.
So you were talking about these foam in-ears, which are the classic ones that everybody from construction sites to the shows to
Everywhere.
anybody uses. These are everywhere because they're easy, they're small, and they're disposable, and they're cheap. But like you said, a lot of drummers hate them because they block out too much. Yeah. What I've heard from most folks is not only do they block out too much, but they can be uncomfortable sometimes. So getting something that's more molded or something that is the filters can go a little bit further. So as an audiologist, can you tell us a little bit more about what some of the benefits are for going to the filter ones, the high fidelity earplugs?
Yeah, so the foam ones, if you get them in properly, so I see these sticking out of the ears all the time. That's not really doing enough.
Yeah.
If you roll these down and stick them into your ear canal, hopefully the ears don't have a lot of wax in them, but you can get up to 33 to 40 decibel reduction.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes it's actually too much reduction. It could be unsafe. So a filtered option or a filtered option that's custom, you're going to get a pretty good fit every time, especially if you go custom. It's going to pop in there. You're going to get a perfect fit.
Oh, yeah. So I used to be a scuba instructor. I taught diving for 10 years, and we'd go down, 130 feet. And we would always talk about the importance of taking care of your ears. And I don't mean to get all the pressure or anything, but it is very easy to damage your ears, whether through pressure or through too much sound. And it takes a long time for that to heal. Sometimes it requires surgery to work on it. Yeah.
And sometimes it never heals.
And sometimes it never heals.
Yeah, that's a really good point. A lot of people don't think about, okay, if I'm damaging my ears, the ears ring after a show or a concert, whatever. They hope that it comes back, but for some people, if there's so much sound pressure that's getting into the eardrum and through the hearing system, you're going to lose it permanently.
Well, so let me do this. We're talking to an audience here. We're trying to educate them on the importance of taking care of your ears. Can we talk about the basics, like what the ringing in your ears is? What is that happening in your ear that causes that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the ringing, it's called tinnitus or tinnitus. Yep. It's not tendinitis, which people say.
That's your elbow.
Yeah.
Or your wrist.
Anyways,
we might cut that out. I don't know. There's kids watching. So the ringing in the ears, typically that's your body's response saying, hey, you may have done some damage to the hearing system. So that ringing, there's some theories about whether it's in the ear or if it's in the auditory nerve or even further along in the brainstem or the or the cortex. It's hard to really pinpoint where that tinnitus is coming from. But I tell people, if you have ringing in the ears or muffled hearing after a show, that's your body's way of saying, yeah, I've done some damage. Let me investigate this. So for a lot of people, after 24 to 48 hours, their hearing comes back to normal, the tinnitus goes away. But for some people, it kind of lingers. And that's when I would say, go to an audiologist, get tested, and we can try to identify if there's hearing loss. There's not really a good way to test and say, hey, this is how much tinnitus you have, because it's very subjective. Yeah. But we have testing in place to at least start that conversation.
Yeah, and similar to the ringing in your ears, especially in scuba diving, we would get issues where people would perforate their eardrum or get basically like a tiny pinhole in their eardrum, and it feels like somebody shoved a whole cotton ball in your ear, and it just will not go away until it heals. And that can sometimes take up to 6 months, if not longer, to fully heal, if it heals all the way.
My last trip to Hawaii, just from being on a flight and the pressure dropped, my ears got, my left ear especially, and I still have hearing loss in this ear.
Yeah.
I mean, it just rang for days. I could not get it to pop back, and it just finally did. But it took, I swear, at least a week and a half.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, especially living in Nashville, Middle Tennessee is really bad for allergies and sinus issues. And so all those people that are flying in and out, traveling for their work, as musicians, they ask me all the time, like, how do I get my ears to clear or pop? I always tell people, like, doing the Valsalva, like plugging your nose, that's pretty helpful, like during the flight. Yeah. Or taking like a decongestant.
That's what my doctor, because it was bad enough. I was like, hey, doc,
and this translates to what I did for over 10 years, was teaching scuba diving, and you don't realize how much your ears are connected to your sinuses.
Absolutely.
And to your breathing. It's all so interconnected. And even just pinching and blowing gently. Don't blow too hard. If you feel like you're doing this, if you're going too hard, you're going to hurt yourself. But you should be able to just pinch and blow nice and gentle, or even wiggle your jaw. And if I can get into the sides of it a little bit, let's say this is your eardrum, and inside your head's over here, outside your head's over here. Your eardrum is like the reverse of a speaker. A speaker vibrates to push air out and create sound. This is receiving those vibrations and transmitting it back to your brain as to what that sound is. And if this gets damaged, let's say you can poke a hole in it, and it gets damaged, it's just like when you hear somebody driving down the road and they have a broken speaker that's just rattling, but it hurts, and your body's letting you know that's damaged, that's broken. And if there's too much pressure on the inside, it'll bulge out, and you'll get that pressure, you get a pressure headache. It's the worst, and you have to find a way to release that. Likewise, if you have gone into an environment where the pressure has decreased, that pressure from the outside can push it in, and one of the ways you can balance that out is to do that pinch and blow. I don't know the proper term for that.
It's called the Valsalva.
Valsalva, okay. Where you pinch and blow gently, and your body adds a little air on the inside and equalizes it back out. That's why we call it equalizing. But again, if you don't take care of it and you allow that pressure to decrease too much, it'll pop that way too. And that causes a lot of damage. It can not only hurt you physically, but it can damage your career as a musician as well.
So I've got a question I have to bring up, and it's simply because now we have the internet. Now you have all this information in your face.
Yeah.
And me having hearing issues, I try to pay attention, but you can't trust everything on the internet, obviously. So now that we've got all these commercials for, well, they don't tell you what it is, but they want you to buy a product.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have an expert on here. What is true and what isn't on the internet? Because there's a lot
nothing is true on the internet. No, I'm kidding. And as an expert in hearing and balance issues, and I fit hearing aids a lot, there's so many products out there, it's hard to know what to trust. Honestly, you got to go to an audiologist or expert in hearing healthcare, and you got to find someone who's going to work well with you and fit your exact needs. Because I have a lot of musicians that are hearing impaired that need different
solutions
solutions to help them, because one product isn't going to work for everyone. And I always tell people, I'm like, you're investing in my services and resources rather than the product. Like, the product it's important, but it's only a small component of the whole hearing process.
Right. Okay. But I just watched a 10-minute infomercial that sounded really smart, but they wouldn't really tell me their solution until I paid. at the end of it.
Well,
So-
there's a lot of that these
So,
days.
you know, it's like how much of their
I attribute a lot. So I attribute a lot of those videos where they're trying to get you to join their online clinic or their online school or this thing, but they'll give you. They'll say, if you can just spare 1 minute of your time, I'll teach you the secret. And then they take 10 minutes to tell you to sign up and pay them $400 to be a part of it. I attribute those to the same late night infomercials that we used to get on TV all the time growing up. Yeah. So I would bring back to what you said. Go speak to your doctor, your audiologist, and get the advice for what would be best for you in your situation.
Yeah, and these guys are in Florida. I'm in Nashville, so I have an unbiased opinion. So my number is available for text and calls or emails.
We'll put that right down here as
Yeah,
well.
it's going to be right down there. So I can give an unbiased opinion to set you up with someone in Florida or anywhere else to really get the good care that you need.
Okay, so the last question I'll ask you here real quick is for especially for musicians that this is kind of a new thing they're realizing their ears are hurting after the concerts. What is probably the most basic step they can take to better prevent ear damage going forward?
Yeah, so concerts or like an event, a lot of musicians, like, my ears are muffled, ringing after a set. I say, don't plug your AirPods in and listen to more music. You want to give your ears a break. It's kind of like, just like our whole body, like musicians and concert goers, I mean, it's a full body experience, right?
Yeah.
So you're standing or moving around a lot. You need to give your body time to reset. Just like you would go to the chiropractor to get adjusted, just like you would take time to sleep, you got to give your ears a break too.
Speaking of which,
It's been a long day.
right?
Well, I actually do that. I was practicing every day, religiously.
Yeah.
And I got to a point now where I will practice a couple days. The third day, I intentionally don't practice.
Yeah.
I don't listen to music. I don't even turn my stereo on at home. I just, it's quiet time.
I will say, so it's important to talk about the time intensity trade-off of noise. So the louder the noise is, the shorter time you can be exposed before you're at risk of hearing loss or potential damage. So I've had studio musicians or engineers that have played at like 75 or 80 decibel, which isn't maybe that loud, but they've done it for 12 to 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
And they're still having the same issues for someone that was exposed to 95 or 100 decibel for an hour. So,
I'm an audio engineer, so I know exactly what that means and how loud that really is. And you're right. In the moment, you're going to go, okay, this is good volume, but it's not really loud. It is. It's like saying I can run 20 yards really, really fast, but then you try to do that for 4 miles. You're gonna hurt afterwards. Same thing with your ears. If I make that comparison. All right. So I just thought of one more question. If you got a second,
I got time.
What do you think is the most overlooked aspect to taking care of your ears?
That's a good question. I mean, at the drum show here, I've had a lot of people that, I've tried to talk about earplugs, hearing protection.
Yeah.
Not half. I mean, a lot of people are like, I'm not interested in that. Because I think a lot of people just don't realize the potential damage. Another overlooked thing, I guess I have to say this as an audiologist, Q-tips. All they do is push wax deeper.
Yeah.
It's not really going to help get the majority out.
Yeah.
So I'd say in terms of cleaning your ears, if you're worried about that, go see an audiologist or an ENT, and we'll clean you out.
That ties back to the
You mean I can't use that?
The ear candling?
No, I actually
don't
have
get me started on ear candling.
I have a safety.
When I see that. That's what I think of.
I have a paper clip, and I turn that around and I twisted it so it wouldn't poke my ear when I stuck it in, but I use that to dig out and pull the wax out. So
I can feel Jason's blood pressure rising.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
It's elevated.
This is things not to do.
I'll look in your ears again if I have it. So.
Yeah, there we go. Right. You're about to be a case study.
Huh?
No paper clips.
I just feel in terms of like, you do what?
Hey, people do stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
It happens.
All right. So real quick, is there anything that we can plug for you? Anything that we can put down here in the comments to get whether educational videos or where they can find some of these cool products?
Yeah, I mean, I don't sell any products online really. Again, the biggest focus of my clinic, I'm a mobile audiologist, so my services go directly to people. So home visits, studio visits, So if anyone's ever coming to Nashville, I have a lot of tourist patients that I see same day when they're in town. So that's probably the biggest thing. And then just go to my website and ask some questions.
So if our listeners are out there, obviously not in Nashville, and want to contact you for advice, is that allowed?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll put your number down. And
yes. I mean, I'm not going to charge for my advice. I could, but
that's very generous of you. Yeah. That's very generous of you. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I want to shout out to Landon and JC, who are running the whole Music City Drum Show. They did something for the first time this year. That's at the top of every hour, 15 minutes of quiet, no drum playing. Give everybody's ears a break, give people a chance to talk.
That makes you guys happy, but not me.
It makes me very happy. I love it. Yeah, same. I was gonna say, I think that's a good shout out to Landon and Jason. It's a great idea. We're looking forward to next year where they're going to be in 2 different facilities. One room is going to be the noise playing room. The other one's going to be the quieter space where people can go take a break, do podcasts, talk business, and enjoy the peace of mind and give themselves a break. Just remember, when you're in attendance of a show like this, or a concert, or an event, Monster Truck Rally is famous for damaging people's hearings. Make sure that you're finding a space and time to take breaks throughout it. And save your ears, save your hearing. You're going to thank yourself a lot.
Use protection, just like.
There's another edit point.
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
There's kids over here.
Oh, he's fine. His mom was in the Navy. He's heard way worse.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, thank you for taking the time to come down here and chat with us. We'll
Thank you
talk
very
soon.
much.
I want to bang a drum.